Hi everybody. Kath and I decided to make a video about how our hiker brains got much bigger after last year's adventure on the JMT. And so we're going to talk about the items that we have changed for this year's hike in 2018 from what we did in 2017. And Kath and I are just going to kind of talk through it here for you.
So the first things we're going to talk about is the big three. The tent, the pack, and the sleeping system. And basically we did some changing to all three of those items. First off, our tent, last year we had the Hyperlight Ultra Mid 2, which we really liked a lot. It was one of the few tents that was able to withstand the wind and some of the hail at night. Other hikers would talk about how their tent, would collapse during the night and they'd have to get up several times and reset it. Ours, we never had an issue with at all. We really liked it. But this year, I wanted something that was a little bit easier, number one, to set up. Number two, to just ease of getting in and out. Because after all, I'm getting a little bit older.
Both a little older, honey.
And so I wanted a tent that had two doors. So we went with the Z packs. We did the triplex rather than the duplex because the triplex is a little bit bigger. We like to bring our gear into the tent at night. I like having my pack in there. I usually prop my head up on the pack at night when I sleep. So I just feel better having all of my gear in the tent. So we went with the triplex. There is a little difference in weight. The weight of the Ultra Mid 2 was 2 pounds 6 ounces, and the triplex is 1 pound 6 ounces. So we saved a pound there, which is always nice when you can save a little bit of weight. We've also used this triplex several times already in camping. We haven't done any long distance hiking with it, but we've used it in camping situations. And we were in a pretty good wind rainstorm a couple weekends ago, and it held up beautifully. So we really, so far, like it very, very much. So that's the tent. Now, along with the tent, the different things we're going to do this year is last year we took two kinds of stakes. So we had, what is that one?
It's a carbon fiber stake.
So we had those.
Lightweight.
Yeah, real lightweight. And then we had the shepherd hooks.
Yeah. Titanium shepherd hooks. These are also very lightweight.
The thing we decided and found was that on the trail, it was easier to use the shepherd hooks for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's thinner, and when you're pounding it in between rocks and slabs and that kind of thing, it just went in a lot easier than the fatter one. The fat one oftentimes would hit the edge of a rock or whatever. The other thing I found is that I broke a couple of these as I was trying to pull them out of the ground after we'd had them in. I usually took the tent down in the morning and I would yank on this part, which probably wasn't smart, but that was the only part I could get my hands on, and the red thing would come off. And so we ended up losing a couple of stakes in the ground because I couldn't get them out.
And that was more than likely because to put these in, when that ground is very hard, you have to take a rock and pound on the top of it. And the damage that you do when you're doing that, pounding it in to hard ground with a rock, I think it damages the plastic part here on the top.
Yeah. So this year we're taking just the shepherd hook stakes. Okay, next we're going to talk about packs. Now, we both decided to get new packs this year. We went with the Hyperlight packs, and mine is the 3400. Sam has one that is the 4400. And the pack, this one weighs 2 pounds. His weighs 2 pounds and 45 ounces. Or, yes, 2 pounds.
2 pounds. Yeah.
About
It's
2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds, honey.
Ugh, my hiker brain is malfunctioning here. Anyway, so I had last year a Deuter or a Deuter, however you say that pack. It was a slimline women's light, quote, light, L-I-T-E pack. but in actuality, it was a pretty heavy pack. It weighed almost 4 pounds. This one's 2. So again, I'm saving 2 pounds right there. Sam was using an Osprey pack that he really, really liked, and it was actually lighter than the Hyperlight Mountain. But we both just decided that we wanted something that was going to be waterproof, basically.
Yes.
That was convenient, simple in a lot of ways. And so we went with these packs. And I just brought mine out here so you could kind of see what it looks like all packed up. I'm going to pull just 1 or 2 things out of here later to show you. But I'm really, really liking the feel of this pack. I've worn it. We've done some day hiking up in Albuquerque. We went up and down the crest a couple of times, the mountain paths, and I've been wearing it around the neighborhood. Every morning I go out there and hike and walk and get ready. I really like the feel of that pack. A couple little things I don't like about it, but I'll talk about that in another video when we're talking about all the things that we're going to take with us. So anyway, I'm really excited about this pack.
Yeah, I got one too, and I like mine.
That's right. Okay, and then the third thing is our sleeping system. And both of us had the REI Flash sleeping bags. They're the mummy bags. And they were the 32-degree bags, and they weighed in around 12 ounces. They were not very heavy, but they were also not as warm as we found we needed. There were many nights where we would be sleeping in that bag with our puffy on, our down puffy. I wore thermal leggings at night. And I'm not normally a cold sleeper, but it was cold when we were right at the base of Forester Pass and some of those higher altitudes. And we've just found that we needed more warmth. In addition, I am not a still sleeper. I thrash all night long. So those mummy bags, I felt like I was constantly battling, like I was in a rubber band or something. It was a constant battle.
Me too.
So we decided to go with the quilts. And so this is an Enlightenment Revelation quilt.
You can hold this while you're talking, and I will demonstrate.
Okay. And it is a 10-degree bag. And of course our cat has to get in on the action here too. It's a quilt, yes. Not a bag, excuse me. And mine weighs 20 ounces, and Sam's weighs 21.2 ounces.
And if you'll notice, I got the Red Raider colors for my beloved Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red on the outside and black on the inside. This is my quilt right here.
There you go.
10 degrees. It's going to be nice and toasty.
Yep, those should be nice and warm. So those are the things that we changed. I have one other item I want to show you, which is in my pack. Last year, I packed up my individual things in Ziploc baggies, like my clothes. But the problem was I couldn't get them all in one baggie, so I had 2 or 3 baggies. I had one with my night sleeping clothes, and I had one with my extra, shirts, and I'm not taking that many clothes, but I just couldn't get them all in a Ziploc. So this year, along with these packs, we have gotten what they call pods, and these again are done by Hyperlight. And I really like this idea. These are waterproof. So again, you've got waterproof in waterproof, so you've got the redundancy, and so we won't have to use pack liners. We are not going to go through the stuff that's in it, but just to kind of show you, this is what I'm going to call a ditty bag here. So it's got all my toiletries and my headlamp and matches and that kind of stuff in it. So it's just nice to keep things organized, because I explode when I get in the tent. My pack stuff was everywhere, and Sam used to just stand back and let me go in. It gave me 20 or 30 minutes to just organize myself in the tent, because it's horrible. So with this idea, it's going to be so much easier because everything will be organized. I have one for my ditty bag. I have one for all of our kitchen stuff, including our stove. Our jet boil goes in there, and our cups and all that kind of stuff. And then I have one for my clothes. And so I'm a happy camper. Everything right now is in this pack that I'm going to take with me, with the exception of like our Cooper Scooper and a couple other little items. But basically, this pack is ready to roll. So this is going to be great.
So show them the shape of that and how it fits in your, or
Well, it's a
explain how it fits.
clamshell kind of thing, and so it fits in with the flat side up against the back side of the pack. And so when you set it in, it all just fits right up against the back here is flat, and then this comes around this way. Now this particular one is not very full. My other ones are pretty full. So this one I can get my jacket in around and other things, but it's really smart on Hyperlight's part to put those together, I think. That is so much better than Sam carried these kinds of things last year, which was great to help him organize, but these are heavy. This one weighs 1.5 ounces, and this one is, I think, 0.8 ounces. As compared to these clamshells, which the big one is 1.4 ounces. So, you know, that's better than 1.8. So, wherever you can save weight, that's a wonderful thing. So, that's the big three.
The big
I think
three.
we've